into one giant patchwork quilt of living flesh.
That ain't the kind of science I remember.
Jesus Christ, this is a kid's movie. Did you know that SpongeBob turned 25 this year? I sure as hell didn't. I wonder why. So what could be a better way to celebrate such a major milestone in one of the most iconic characters in fiction's history than release his newest feature starring one of his biggest supporting characters, Sandy Cheeks. And how did it turn out? Shit. Just shit. So what should I watch instead? Wish? Nah, people will call me a Nazi if I say that film is good. Mitchell's versus the Machines? No, I don't want to support Sony and their AI generated future. Secret World of Arietti? Hell yeah! So of course I'm gonna go to the theaters and watch the newest family-friendly film, Deadpool and Wolverine. Hey, come to think about it, these two are very similar. Both are about side characters, both team up with yellow friends, and both fight a lady who's crazy and pure evil. So why does one work and the other doesn't, besides age restrictions? Well, for one, the visuals in Saving Bikini Bottom suck ass. They're fine against an animated background if a bit rigged, but when they're put against the live action background, they stick out like a sore thumb. And don't even get me started on the editing on the humans to help them fit in. What is this? What was this film's budget? This also leads to an unintentional side effect of leaving plot holes wherever it goes. I wouldn't even mind as much, except the live action and animation segments clash horribly. You think since Deadpool and Wolverine's live action, this comparison would not be made, but there's a lot of CGI in this movie, yet it doesn't stick out, so I don't question why there's the Fox logo in the wasteland. or how Cassandra's powers work, because the visuals make them feel like a part of the world. Despite D&W's opening being an already existing song, Baby Bye Bye Bye, playing while Deadpool uses Logan's skeleton to kill all the Time Patrol employees, is the most fitting opening you could have for a movie like this. Another thing Deadpool and Wolverine does better is the opening, as Saving Bikini Bottom starts with a song that's okay. It explains who Sandy is, but is really forgettable and generic. Speaking of Sandy, she is boring because she's a Mary Sue, as the kids would say. The only time she's ever in trouble is when she's bitten by a snake, which all that does is inflate her and make her dizzy, and when she's thrown in the cage at the end because of her newfound stupidity. But overall, not a hateable character. Now, SpongeBob, on the other hand, he is left as the comic relief who makes unfunny jokes all the fucking time. He never shuts up, and he puts his friends in danger by getting distracted all the time while they're being held hostage. Deadpool acts in character, but now he has to go through an arc of keeping a promise and growing to like Logan. While it's not as in depth as I hope it would be, it still gives a nice contrast of them, with Deadpool wanting to not let his world down, while Wolverine wants to make up for letting the X-Men die in his world. The other characters are completely pointless, aside from the villain, Tsunami.
Howdy, howdy. Aha, aha, give me that.
SpongeBob is still the worst character, but she's a very close second. Wanda Sykes is either not trying or trying too hard with her acting. Her motivation adds to the disturbing nature of this movie. The twist comes right out of the movie's ass, and the CG on her is the worst in the whole movie. Not to mention the whole idea of mass producing the SpongeBob characters makes the movie feel unaware on how ironic it's being about the franchise. This is where Deadpool and Wolverine shines, as Cassandra Nova has some great CGI effects, a creepy backstory on purpose, and a fantastic performance on top of that. Plus, we get another villain called the TVA, who's a commentary on the deletion of the Fox universe. This works because this movie was designed to be a finale of that universe, with the credits showing the making of those movies, with Time of Your Life playing in the background, giving a grand goodbye to those who grew up with these movies. And even as someone who couldn't care less about them, I'll admit I got emotional while watching them. Finally, the comedy in Saving Bikini Bottom is abysmal. It's either rehash from the show, lame puns, or the most disturbing thing possible. The one element I liked about the movie was Sandy's family, who, yes, are one note traits, but have that classic SpongeBob charm reminiscent of the good seasons. In fact, they hint towards there being a tragic incident with Sandy's water skiing trick, and her family wants her to come back and join them, but the movie isn't aware enough for good ideas. So they leave until the finale, and it's never brought up again. You think with all the meta jokes that have come out in recent years, this wouldn't be funny, but it's used sparingly and with other jokes, so when they do come up, it makes you laugh. In conclusion, Deadpool and Wolverine is an 8 out of 10, and Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie, is a 3 out of 10. My name's the writer Azura, and I'm writing off.